Arizona Theater Matters presents The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Act 1, Scene 1. The Storm.
Bullshit!
Here, master!
Speak to the Baroness! Voltron Yarley! Where we run ourselves...
Act 1, Scene 2. Prospero and Miranda are on the shore, looking out at the sea.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would power down stinking pitch, but that the sea mounting to the welkin's cheek dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the frothing souls within her.
Be collected, no more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort, the direful spectacle of the rack which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee. I have, with such provision in mine art, so safely ordered, that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as an hair, betid to any creature in the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou sawst sink. Sit down, for thou must know farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour is now come. The very minute bides thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
Oh, by what? By any other house or person? Of anything the image tell me that hath kept with thy remembrance?
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are you not my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir, and princess, no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was't we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly holp hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the time that I have turned to you, which is from my remembrance. Please you, farther.
My brother and thy uncle called Antonio, I pray thee, mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. He, who next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time, through all the signories, it was the first. And Prospero, the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without a parallel, those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant sweets, how to deny them, who to advance, and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them, or else new formed them, having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear. That now he was the ivy which had my princely trunk and sucked my verdure out on't. Thou attend'st not?
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind, with that which but by being so retired or prized all popular rate. In my false brother awaked an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. He being thus lauded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth, by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution, and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative. Hence, his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Me, poor man, my library was duked him large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederate, so dry he was for sway, with King of Naples to give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed, alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event, then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now, the condition. This King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage, and I not know how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honors on my brother. Whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity, I not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that rings mine eyes to it.
Hear a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now's upon, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question, dear. They durst not. So dear the love my people bore me. Nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colours fair painted their foul ends. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively have quit it. There they hoist us to cry to the sea, that roared to us, to sigh to the winds, whose pity sighing back again did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, A cherubin thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven. When I have decked the sea with drops full salt, unto my burden groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine, some food we had, and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, out of his charity, who being then appointed master of this design, did give us with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steeded much. So of his gentleness, knowing I love my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man.
Now I arise. Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here hath I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princess can, that hath more time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm?
Know thus far forth, by accident most strange, bountiful fortune now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence if now I court not but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. Oh, I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel. Come.
Ariel enters.
All hail, great master, grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding, task Ariel.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck. In every cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and bowsprit, would I flame distinctly. Then meet and join love's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seems to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine, and quit the vessel. Then, all afire, with me the king's son Ferdinand, with hair up staring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt. Cried, hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me, in chirps I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs, in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet?
Safely in harbor is the king's ship, in the deep nook, where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermuthus. There she's hid, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labor, I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, which are dispersed, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship whacked, and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time 'twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since you dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now, Moody? What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out, no more.
I prithee, remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistaking, served without or grudge or grumblings. Thou did promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost. And think'st it much to tread ye ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north to do my business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost?
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible, to enter humane hearing from Argier, thou knowest, was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant. And for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee by help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift, imprisoned, thou didst painfully remain 12 years. Within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the sun, that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so. He, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service, thou best knowst what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurst, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be corresponded to command and do my spriting gently.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
Yes, my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph for the sea, be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape, and hither come in't. Go, hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness on me.
Shake it off. Come on, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir. I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis we cannot miss him, he does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho! Slave! Caliban! Thou earth, thou! Speak!
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise! When?
Enter Ariel, like a water nymph.
Fine apparition, my quaint Ariel! Hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Ariel disappears in a swirl of lights and sparkles.
Thou poisonous slave, got by ye devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
Enter Caliban, a wretched inhabitant of the island.
As wicked do as ere my mother brushed raven's feather from unwholesome fendrop on you both. A southwest blow on ye, and blister you all over.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall for that vast of night that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you sty me in this hard rock, whiles you do keep from me the rest to the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filth, as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh ho, would it had been done. Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not savage know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known, but thy viled race, though thou didst learn, had that in't, which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hagseed, hence. Fetch us in fuel, and be quick. Thou'rt best to answer other business. Shrugg'st thou malice? If thou neglect'st or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee wrong, that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee, I must obey. His art is of such power, it would control my dam's god Setebos, and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence!
Enter Ferdinand. Ariel is invisible, playing and singing.
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsy when you have, and kiss the wild waves' whist. Put it thickly here and there, and sweet sprites bear the burthen. Dispersedly hark, hark, bow, wow, the watchdogs bark. Bow, wow.
Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wreck. This music crept by upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather, but 'tis gone. No, it begins again. The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The fringy curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is the spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, wench. It eats and sleeps, and have such senses as we have, such. This gallant which thou seest was in the rack, and but he's something stained with grief. That's beauty's canker. You mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find 'em.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure the goddess on whom these airs attend, vouchsafe my prayer. may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give, how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder, if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language? Heavens, I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
How? Best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does, I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes, never since at ebb, beheld the king my fathers wrecked.
Alack for mercy.
Yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan, and his brave son, Bean Twain.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee if now 'twere fit to do't. At the first sight, they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first that e'er I sighed for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. They are both in either's powers. But this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. And one word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord on't.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with.
Follow me. Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink, thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks, wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
No. I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
He draws and is charmed from moving.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What, I say? My foot? My tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makest a show but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hands, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence. One word more shall make thee chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Hush! Thou thinkst there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish wench. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdue, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else of the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Come on. Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what thou else shalt do me.
Be of comfort. My father's of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwonted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Act 2, Scene 1. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, and Francisco.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. And wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him or so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by, it will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief is entertained, that offered comes to the entertainer.
$1.
Dollar comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
I prithee, spare.
well, I have done. But yet,
He will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
Laughter.
A match. Though this island seems to be desert, uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible, yet,
He could not miss it.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and a subtle, as he most learnedly delivered. The air breathes upon us here most sweetly, as if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live.
Of that there's none, or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are,
that our garments being, as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new-dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
I or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afrique, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
Was a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return. Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since Widow Dido's time.
Widow? A pox o' that. How came that widow in? Widow Dido.
If he had said widower Aeneas, too. Good Lord, how you take it. Widow Dido, said you? You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp.
He hath raised the wall and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands. Why, in good time.
Sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
I beseech you, Widow Dido.
Oh, Widow Dido. Aye, Widow Dido.
Is now, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence. My son is lost, and in my rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water whose enmity he flung aside and breasted the surge most swoln that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore, that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him, I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss, that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she, at least, is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on't.
Prithee, peace.
You were kneeled to, and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the loss.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness, and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most chirurgeonly.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord,
He'd sow't with nettle seed.
Docks or mallows?
and were the king on't, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth I would, by contraries, execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate. Letters should not be known. Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none. No use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil. No occupation, all men idle, all. And women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on't.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But nature should bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people.
No marrying mongst his subjects?
None, man. All idle, whores and knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo!
And do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who, in this kind of merry fooling, am nothing to you. So you may continue, and laugh at nothing still.
Oh, what a blow was there given!
And it had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
Ariel enters, playing solemn music.
We would so, and then go a bat-fowling.
Nay, my good lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep, for I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What? All so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with themselves, shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow when it doth. It is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all, as by consent they dropped, as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more. And yet methinks I see it in thy face, what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose to be asleep, with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep. Die, rather, wink'st while thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me, which to do trebles the oar.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing men, indeed, most often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth, indeed, which shows thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of as little memory when he is earthed, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade the king his sons alive, 'tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
Have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Farida.
She that is Queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were post. The man i' the moon's too slow till newborn chins be rough and razorable. She that from whom we all were sea-swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue. What to come is yours, and by discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true my brother's daughter's Queen of Tunis. So is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Claribel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death that now hath seized them, why they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps, lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a show of as deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me. Much feeter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Aye, sir. Where lies that? If 'twere a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper. But I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candid be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever. Was you doing thus to the perpetual wink, for I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion. As a cat laps milk, they'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gotst Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together. And when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
Ariel enters, heard only by sleeping Gonzalo.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, or else his project dies, to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake.
Now, good angels, preserve the king.
Why? How? No. Awake? Why are you drawn? For this ghastly looking.
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions. Did not wake you. It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure of the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
Act 2, Scene 2. Another part of the island. Enter Caliban with a burden of wood.
All the infections that the sun sucks up, from bogs, fens, flats, on Prosper fall, and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch, fright me with urchin shows, pitch me i' the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometime like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me. Then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness.
Trinculo enters.
Now lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly, I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing. I hear it sing i' the wind. Yon same black cloud, yond huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor, if it should thunder as it did before. I know not where to hide my head, and same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish? He smells like a fish, a very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not of the newest pour, John. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there, but would give a piece of silver, there would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they will lazy out 10 to see a dead Indian, legged like a man, and his fins like arms. Warm, oh my troth, I do now let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm is come again! My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
Enter Stephano.
I shall no more to sea, here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. Oh, the master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Mal, Megan, Marion, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savour of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did it. Ooh, then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. Hang? This is a scurvy tune, too. But here's my comfort.
Do not torment me.
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of Ind, huh? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your forelegs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground, and it shall be said so again, while Stephano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me.
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him, and keep him tame, and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
Yeah, he's in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be, but he's drowned. And these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come, amen, I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stephano?
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stephano, if thou beest Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend, Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stephano? I hope now thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fears of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, 2 Neapolitans escaped?
Really, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree, with mine own hands, since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
From ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, moon calf? How doth thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee in thy dog and thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Swear.
By this good light, that is a very shallow monster. I am feared of him. A very weak monster. The man in the moon, a most poor, credulous monster, well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then. Down, and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I could find in my heart to beat him.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee, and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
Come, kiss.
But that poor monster's in drink. An abominable monster.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pignuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scamels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee now, lead the way, without any more talking. Trinculo, the king, and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master. Farewell, farewell. No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetching, firing, and requiring, nor scrape trenchering, nor wash dish. Ban, Calaban has a new master. Get a new man. Freedom. High day, freedom. High day, freedom. Freedom. High day, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
Act 3, Scene 1. Enter Ferdinand bearing a log.
There be some sports are painful, and their labor delight in them set off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget. But these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors, most busy lest when I do it.
Miranda enters. Prospero spies from behind a tree.
Alas, now pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray set it down, and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you. And I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda? Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, never any with so full soul. But some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh, you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save for my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad I am skilless of. But by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king I would not so, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven, oh, earth, bear witness to this sound and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true, if hollowly invert what best is boded me to mischief. I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself the bigger bulk shows. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant, whether you will or no.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
I, with a heart as willing as bondage air of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart and And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.
Act 3, Scene 2. Enter Caliban, Stephano, and Trinculo.
Tell not me, when the butt is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore, bear up and bottom, servant monster, drink to me!
Servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 be brained like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed, if they were set in his tail.
My man-monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore 35 leagues off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Your lieutenant, if you list. He's no standard.
We'll not run, monsieur monster.
Nor go neither. But you'll lie like dogs, and yet say nothing neither.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life, if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I am in case to justle a constable. Why, thou debauched fish thou? Was there ever man a coward that hath drunk so much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, lo again. Bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry will I. Kneel, and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
Enter Ariel, invisible.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest. Thou jesting monkey, thou. I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in's tail by this hand, I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
Bum then, and no more. Proceed.
I say, by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayest knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest.
Thou liest. Thou canst not.
What a pied ninny's this, thou scurvy patch. I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle from him. When that's gone, he shall drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand, I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why, what did I? I did nothing. I'll go farther off.
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take out that! If you like this, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and bearing, too. A pox o' your bottle. This can sack and drinking do.
Now forward with your tale. Ready? Stand further off.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
Stand farther. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with him at afternoon to sleep. There thou mayest brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or paunch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck withal, and that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax my dam, and but she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest does least.
Oh, is it so brave, alas?
Aye, lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen. Save our graces. And Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee. But while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund.
At thy request, monster, I will do reason. Any reason. Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Flautum and scoutum and scoutum and flautum thought is
free.
That's not the tune.
What is this same?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a devil, take it as thou list.
Oh, forgive me my sin.
He that dies pays all debt. I defy thee. Mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometime voices that if I then had waked after long sleep will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me that when I waked I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed...
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow, and after, do our work.
Lead, monster! We'll follow. I would I could see this taborer. He lays it on.
Wilt come?
Act 3, Scene 3. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, and Francisco.
Fire lake, and I can go no further, sir. My old bones aches. Here's a maze trod indeed through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
Old lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here I will put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad that he's so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forego the purpose that you resolve to effect.
The next advantage we will take orally.
Let it be tonight. For now they are oppressed with travail. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this, my good friends? Hark!
Marvelous sweet music.
Enter several strange shapes, bringing in a banquet. They invite the king and the others to eat, then they depart.
Give us kind keepers, heavens. What were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there.
I'll believe both. And what does else want credit? Come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn 'em.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the island, who though they are of monstrous shape, yet note their manners are more gentle, kind, than of our human generation you shall find many, nay, almost any.
Prospero is hiding behind a tree.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse. Such shapes, such gesture, and such sound expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
They vanish strangely. No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. We'll please you taste of what is here.
Oh, not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who would believe that there were mountaineers dewlapped like bulls, whose throats had hanging at 'em wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find each putter out of 5 for 1 will bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed. Although my last, no matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
Ariel enters as a harpy. The banquet vanishes.
You are 3 men of sin, who destiny that hath to instrument this lower world, and what isn't the never-suffered sea hath caused to belch up you. And on this island, where man doth not inhabit, you mongst men, being most unfit to live, I have made you mad, and even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate, the elements of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the loud winds, or with be-mocked-at stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dow that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea, which hath requited him and his innocent child. For which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores. Yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, which here in this most desolate isle else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart's sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace it had, devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. My high charms work, and these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power, and in these fits I leave them while I visit young Ferdinand. whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous. Monstrous! Methought the billows spoke, and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prospero. It did base my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded.
But one fiend at a time. I'll fight their legions o'er.
I'll be thy second.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. I do beseech you that are of suppler joints, follow them swiftly, and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you.
Act 4. Enter Prospero, Ferdinand, and Miranda.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live, who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here, afore heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. O Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then, as my guest and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter.
Prospero speaks quietly to Ferdinand.
But if thou dost break her virgin knot, before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make his contract grow, but barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both. Therefore, take heed, as Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, and long life, with such love as 'tis now the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion, our worser genius shall never melt mine honor into lust.
Fairly spoke.
Sit then, and talk with her.
What? Ariel! My industrious servant, Ariel!
Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rabble, or whom I give thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
Aye, with a twink.
Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice, and cry so, each one tripping on his toe, we'll be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel. Do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire of the blood. Be more abstemious. Or else, good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir. The white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well,
now, come, my Ariel, bring a corollary, rather than want a spirit. Appear and pertly, no tongue, all eyes, be silent.
Prospero conjures a breathtaking spectacle with a subtle wave of his hand, which makes the air shimmer with ethereal light and fills the air with the sounds of gentle music. Two majestic figures emerge from this luminescence. Juno, the goddess of marriage and childbirth, and Ceres, the goddess of agriculture and harvest. Juno, the embodiment of marriage and fertility, blesses Ferdinand and Miranda while bathed in radiant light. She wishes them a life filled with honor, riches, and enduring love, as their joy and prosperity steadily grow with each passing hour. Next, Ceres, the goddess of bounty and harvest, bestows her blessings, promising a land overflowing with abundance. She promises barns and granaries perpetually full, vines laden with plump grapes, and fields teeming with bountiful crops. Ceres declares that spring will forever bloom for them, even amidst winter's harshest grip. As Iris, the messenger of the gods, joins the chorus, she describes their love as a fragrance that will forever remain sweet and intoxicating, like the delicate scent of the wild rose. She promises that their paths will be adorned with blessings, shielding them from sorrow and pain. Ariel weaves a melody around their love, singing of the island as a haven for lovers, where peace and harmony reign supreme. They can find eternal happiness, free from the world's burdens. Finally, in a powerful unison, Juno and Ceres reiterate their blessings of abundance and prosperity. They urge Ferdinand and Miranda to remember the earth's generosity, offering a humble sheaf of wheat, the first fruits of the harvest, as a token of gratitude. For, they remind them, Ceres' bounty is an ever-present gift. As the goddesses fade back into the light, their words linger in the air, a testament to the power of love and the blessings bestowed upon the young couple. Their presence adds a touch of the divine to the scene, a reminder of the natural magic that binds us together.
This is a most majestic vision, and harmonious charmingly. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. So rare a wondered father and a wife makes this place paradise.
I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid! No more!
This is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish you peace.
Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel, come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it. But I feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir. They were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smoked the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. So I charmed their ears, that calf-like. They my lowing followed, through toothed briars, sharp furs, pricking goss and thorns, which entread their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul lake o'erstuck their feet.
This was well done, my bird, thy shape, invisible, retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither for stale to catch these thieves.
I go. I go.
A devil, a born devil, on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Oh, come. Hang on them this line.
Enter Ariel, laden with glistering apparel. Enter Caliban, Stephano, and Trinculo, all wet.
Pray you, tread softly, that the blind mule may not hear a foot fall. We now are near his cell.
Monster! Your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good, my lord. Give me thy favor still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool.
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that, monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wedding. Yet this is your harmless fairy monster?
I will fetch off my bottle, though I be your ears for my labor.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here, this is the mouth of the cell. No noise and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy footlicker.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
O King Stephano, O peer, O worthy Stephano! Look what a wardrobe here is for thee!
Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Put off that gown, Trinculo, by this hand. I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
The dropsy drown this fool. What do you mean to dote thus on such luggage? Let's alone, and do the murder first. If he awake, from toe to crown he'll fill our skins with pinches. Make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is this not my jerkin? Now is the jerkin under the line. Now, jerkin, you are like to lose your hair and prove a bold jerkin.
Do we steal by line and level? And it like, your grace.
I thank thee for that jest. Here's a garment for it. Wit shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level is an excellent pass of paint. There's another garment for it.
Monster, come put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
I will have none on't. We shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles, or to apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers. Help to bear this away, where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to. Carry this.
And this.
Aye, and this.
A noise of hunters is heard. Enter diverse spirits in shape of dogs and hounds, hunting them about. Prospero and Ariel setting them on.
Hey, Fountain! Hey!
Fury! There, tyrant, there! Hark!
Go. Charge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with aged cramps, and more pinch-spotted make them than pard or catamountain.
Hark! They roar!
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. For a little follow, and do me service.
Act 5. Enter Prospero in his magic robes, and Ariel.
Now does my project gather to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so when first I raised the tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and's followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. All prisoners, sir, in the Line Grove, which weather fends your cell. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly, him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works 'em that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall.
Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason 'gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break. Their senses I'll restore. And they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes, and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes back, you demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green, sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites, and you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew. By whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault, set roaring war, to the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers. Ope and let 'em forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses, that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book.
Ariel enters with Alonso, who is frantic and attended by Gonzalo. Sebastian and Antonio enter, also frantic and attended by Adrian and Francisco. They all enter the circle which Prospero had made, and there stand charmed.
A solemn air and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy. Cure thy brains, now useless spoil within thy skull. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honorable man, mine eyes e'en sociable to the show of thine, fall fallowly drops.
The charm dissolves apace,
And as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearest reason. O good Gonzalo, my true preserver and a loyal sir, to him thou fall'st. I will pay thy graces home, both in word and deed. Most cruelly did thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act.
Thou art pinched for't now,
Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you, brother mine, that entertain ambition, expelled remorse and nature, whom, with Sebastian,
whose inward pinches therefore
are most strong,
would here have
killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Oh, their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lie foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me or would know me.
Ariel, fetch me the hat and rapier in my cell.
I will discase me, and myself present as I was sometime Milan.
Quickly, spirit! Thou shalt ere long be free.
Ariel sings and helps to attire him.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip spell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, merrily, merrily shall I live now. Under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Merrily, merrily shall I live now. Under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom. So. To the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt find the mariners asleep under the hatches, the master and the boatswain being awake, and force them to this place. And presently, I prithee,
drink the air before me and return, or ere your pulse twice beat.
Oh, torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body, and to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Oh, where thou beest, he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. This must crave, and if this be at all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all, but you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I here could pluck his highness, frown upon you, and justify your traitors. At this time I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, I do forgive the rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore. where I have lost. How sharp the point of this remembrance is. My dear son, Ferdinand.
I am Wolford, sir.
Irreparable is the loss. And Patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose soft grace for the like loss I have her sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You the like loss?
As great to me as late, and so portable to make the dear loss. Have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh, heavens. That they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there. That they were, I wish myself, were mudded in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire, that they that devour their reason, and scarce think their eyes do offices of truth.
Their words are natural breath.
But howsoe'er you have been justled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duke which was thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely, upon this shore, where you were racked, was landed to be the Lord on't. No more yet of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day, and not a relation for a breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This sells my court. Here have I few attendants, and subjects none abroad. Pray you look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite you with as good a thing, at least bring forth a wonder, to content ye as much as me my dukedom.
Ferdinand and Miranda are discovered within, playing chess.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms. You should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now, all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise, and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that has such people in it.
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by a mortal providence, she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown, but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life, and second father this lady makes him to me.
I am hers. Oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, for should have spoke ere this. Look down, you gods, on this couple, drop a blessed crown, for it is you that have chalked forth the way which brought us hither.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan that his issue should become king of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and set it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand her brother found a wife, where he himself was lost. Prospero his dukedom in a poor isle, and all of us, ourselves, when no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let Grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen.
Ariel enters with the master and Bosun amazedly following.
Oh, look, sir. Look, sir. Here is more of us. I prophesied if a gallows were on land, this fellow could not drown. Now blasphemy that swearest grace o'erboard, not an oath on shore, hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is tight and yar and bravely rigged, as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all clapped under hatches. Where, but even now, with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chain, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible. We were awaked, straightway at liberty, where we, in all our trim, freshly beheld our royal good and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her. On a trice so please you, even in a dream, where we divided from them, and were brought moping hither.
Was't well done?
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod. And there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business at picked leisure, which shall be shortly single. I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable of every these happened accidents. Till then, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free. Untie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Ariel enters, compelling Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo in their stolen apparel.
Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio.
If these be true spines which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
O Setebos, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I am afraid he will chastise me.
Aha! What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish, and no doubt marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows, you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling right. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded them? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been such a pickle since I saw you last that I feared me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I am not Stefano, but a cramp.
You'd be king of the Isle, Sirrah.
I should have been a sore one then. Oh, this is as strange thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, Sira, to my cell. Take with you your companions, as you look to have my pardon. Trim it handsomely.
That I will. And I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god, and worship this dull fool.
Go to. Away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, which, part of it, I'll waste with such discourse as, I not doubt, shall make it go quick away. The story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle. And in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these our dear beloved solemnized. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ears strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious that shall catch your royal fleet far off, my Ariel. Chick, that is thy charge. Then to the elements be free, and fare thou well.
The magical bonds that held her captive dissolve into the air. As Ariel rises, her movements become light and fluid, her form translucent, reflecting the joy and anticipation that dances within her. She ascends, no longer bound by earthly constraints, her laughter echoing like wind chimes in a summer breeze. Sunlight catches the dewdrop tears that shimmer on her cheeks, her eyes sparkle, and she casts one final lingering glance at Prospero, a silent farewell brimming with affection and respect. Ariel disappears into the horizon, becoming one with the wind and soaring through the heavens, leaving behind a trail of shimmering stardust.
Please you, draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have is mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces, so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.
Directed by Jean-Marie Simpson and Ololade Adekanmi. Director of Artistic Sign Language, Rachel Temitope. Production Manager, Kevin Tai. Audio Assistant, Sydney Wolf. Video by Ololade Adekanmi. Sign Language Team, Binta Mohammed and Rachel Temitope. Voices, narrator Denise Blum, Captain Kirk Gardner, Bosun Monroe Shepard, Alonso the King of Naples, Matthew Zimmerer, Sebastian his brother Kirk Gardner, Antonio the usurping Duke of Milan, Mace Archer, Ferdinand son to Alonso, Matt Clark, Gonzalo, an honest old counselor, Tom Streckel, Adrian and Francisco, a couple of lords, Kirk Gardner, Prospero, the rightful Duke of Milan, Michael Raleigh, Miranda, daughter to Prospero, Amber Teen, Ariel, an airy spirit, Kaz Chandler, Caliban, a native of the island, C.J. Mascarelli, Trinculo, a jester, Monroe Shepard, and Stefano, a drunken butler, Matthew Zimmerer. Made possible by generous grants from the Arizona Commission on the Arts and the National Endowment for the Arts. Experience theater that matters. Stories that ignite your soul. Arizona Theater Matters. Radically Inclusive Theater. Please help support our sign language team. Kindly click the link in the description below to donate, or go directly to https://gofund.me/BDA2D876.